translate that any way you want, though. Your mother, Babylon this time, shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations. I think this is talking about Kuwait because it's the furthest from Israel in that area. I think. I could be wrong. The hindermost of the nations. Plus, it was taken over. It's now a new part of Iraq, so it's now the hindermost of the nations it's the newest one since it was taken over. The hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. Because of the wrath of the Lord it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Iraq shall be astonished, and hiss at all her plagues. Okay, put yourselves in array against Babylon, Iraq, round about, just like they're doing now. All you that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows. She hath sinned against the Lord. Shout against her round about. She hath given her hand. If you read in Jeremiah 49, you'll see what kind of hand she gave. Her foundations are fallen, her walls are thrown down. For it is the vengeance of the Lord. Take vengeance upon her, as she hath done, do unto her. She wipes out Saudi Arabia with our guys in it, so we wipe Iraq out. Now this made me think, this next verse I'm going to read to you made me think that it was going to happen this fall. But actually, it's already happened. Cut off the sower from Babylon, Iraq, and him that handleth the sickle in the time of harvest. And it was in the time of harvest, the fall time, that they really started getting out of Iraq and Kuwait. For fear of the oppressing sword, because they didn't want to get bombed or attacked by the Iraqis, they shall turn everyone to his people. And they shall flee everyone to his own land. And that happened. People from Pakistan, Japan, India, France they've all left Kuwait and Iraq and returned to their own land, except for the hostages. Okay. In those days and in that time, saith the Lord, the iniquity of Israel shall be sought for, and there shall be none, and the sins of Judah, and they shall not be found, for I will pardon them whom I reserve. There. This is what makes me think that it's talking about this time, because right now, problems with Israel, Saddam Hussein is trying to make the situation over there a problem between America and Israel. Like, he invades Kuwait because Israel invaded the Gaza Strip and the West Bank. And he's trying to make it an Israeli problem. Plus, in those days and in that time, there's the Palestinian problem. Uprisings, they're trying to make Israel look bad to point the finger at Israel and not at Saddam Hussein. So this has been fulfilled, I feel, right now. In those days and that time, the iniquity of Israel shall be sought for, and shall be none. Okay, yeah. For I will pardon them whom I reserve. The ones who don't get blown up will be reserved for that area. Okay. I have laid a... Okay, this is a good one. Jeremiah 50:24. I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, Iraq. I believe the snare that it's talking about here is Kuwait. That was the snare for Iraq. It always wanted Kuwait. And when it went down there, it was snared. And thou wast not aware. Saddam Hussein didn't know that everyone was going to come against him like this. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord. The Lord hath opened his armory, and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation. If you read Isaiah, those weapons don't sound like chemical weapons. They sound a lot stronger than that. Okay. Okay, Jeremiah 50:32 now. And the most proud shall stumble and fall. This is, I think it's talking about Iraq here. Shall stumble and fall, and none shall raise him up. And I'll kindle fire in his cities, not just Babylon, like but Basra, Baghdad, and other parts in his cities. So it's not Babylon of the Old Testament of the old times it's talking about here. I think it's talking about, since it mentions cities, that means it's modern time, Iraq. And it shall devour all round about him. Okay, as God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord, so shall no man abide there, neither shall any son of man dwell therein, because it'll be radioactive. Behold, a people shall come from the north, Russia, I feel it's talking about here, and a great nation, America, and many kings shall be raised up from the coasts of the earth. Sounds like submarines are going to do Iraq in. This is kind of scary, though. Jeremiah 51:46 says, at the noise of the taking of Babylon, Iraq, the earth is moved, and a cry is heard among the nations. Okay, then this is kind of scary, too. It sounds like a nuclear blast that takes place here. Chapter 51 says, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Iraq, and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, Russians? I don't know. Muslims? Who knows? A destroying wind, and will send unto Iraq fanners. I looked up the word fanner. It means strange, to be strange things. That shall fan her, which means I'll scatter her, and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. So this must be the day of trouble. It can't be another year. It's got to be now. That's why I think that's talking about now, because we're against her round about in the day of trouble. Okay. Chapter 51:6 says, flee out of the midst of Babylon, Iraq, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. And people are trying to get out of Iraq because they don't want to be bombed by America. Now this next scripture I'm about to read to you is the most important scripture here, because it really seems to cement what happened. It really seems to coincide to what I believe is taking place now with this. I think this is the key scripture that makes me think that it's this time now, and that Bible prophecy really is being fulfilled here. Okay, Babylon, Iraq, hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, her gasoline. Therefore the nations are mad. The only reason why we're over there is because of oil, which turns into gasoline. That's really why we're all crazy and over there. And I think it's talking about gasoline, not wine. He just said wine here, because if he said gasoline, they didn't have gasoline back then. But it would probably appear to wine, maybe. Of course, if you drink it, you'd be dead, but oh well. Okay, now this is interesting here. Now, Babylon, Iraq, is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take a balm for her pain, if she may be healed. We would have healed Iraq, but she is not healed. To me, this is talking about when Mubarak went over there and the Arabians. We would have, helped Saddam Hussein back down and save face. They had options so he could get out of there, pull out, and save face. But she is not healed. Saddam Hussein didn't back out of Kuwait, didn't want to save face. He just wanted to hang on to it. Forsake her. Let us go every one unto his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. H-bomb clouds, that's what I think it's talking about. The Lord hath brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord our God. Make bright the arrows, gather the shields, Operation Desert Shield, and the Israelis have missiles called arrow missiles, which are very bright. The Lord hath raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, Iran, for his device. So when we go against Iraq, it'll be like we have the king. It'll be like we have the spirit of Iran in us when they fought Iraq. For his device is against Iraq to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple, which is that area, since God doesn't dwell in temples made of hands. It's that holy land out there, I think. Set up a standard upon the walls of Iraq. Make the watch strong. Set up the watchmen, newscasters, TV journalists. Prepare the ambushes, for the Lord hath both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Iraq, which is this book right here. This is the thing that speaks against Iraq. O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures, thine end is come. To me, this is talking about its oil tankers that dwells upon many waters, abundant in treasures. Thine end is come, and the measure of thy covetousness, wanting Kuwait. The Lord of hosts hath sworn by himself, saying, surely I will fill thee with men as with caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout against thee. And there are a lot of men in that area right now, that's for sure. Okay. Jeremiah 51:27 says, set up a standard in the land to blow the trumpet among the nations. Prepare the nations against her. Call together against her the kings of Ararat, Mini, and Ashkenaz, which are located in Turkey. And Turkey is against Iraq right now. Appoint a captain against her. Cause the horses to come up as the rough caterpillars. Tanks? I don't know. Prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes, the captains thereof, and all the rulers thereof, and all the land of his dominion. So Iran has got to go against Iraq. That's the thing here. It can't pussyfoot around here. Okay. This is kind of interesting. One post shall run to meet another, and one messenger to meet another, to show the king of Iraq that his city is taken at one end, and the passages are stopped. To me, this is talking about the oil pipes are stopped, and the reeds they have burned with fire, and the men of war are affrighted. Okay, Jeremiah 51:34 says, Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Iraq, hath devoured me. He hath crushed me. Nebuchadrezzar, actually, the king of Iraq, hath devoured me. He hath crushed me. He hath made me an empty vessel. He hath swallowed me up like a dragon. I always talk about him, Iraq swallowing up Kuwait. He hath filled his belly with my delicates. He hath cast me out. The violence done to me and to my flesh be upon Babylon. Iraq, shall the inhabitants of Zion say, and the blood upon the inhabitants of Chaldea, Kuwait, shall Jerusalem say. So apparently, Jerusalem is going to be attacked by Kuwait. Missiles will come from Kuwait. Oh, this is kind of interesting here. Jeremiah 51:41 says, how is Shishak taken, which is another name for Babylon? And how is the praise of the whole earth surprised? The whole earth, though, is that area, that region, though, not the whole world and all that stuff, but the whole earth in that area. And Saddam Hussein, if you look up the word praise, it means hero in Hebrew here. So it reads, how is the hero of the whole earth surprised? The hero of the Arab world, that area, surprised. How is Iraq become an astonishment among the nations? The sea has come upon Iraq. She is covered with a multitude of the waves thereof. Her cities are desolation, a dry land, a wilderness, a land wherein no man dwelleth, neither any son of man pass thereby. And I will punish Bel in Iraq, and I will bring forth out of his mouth that which he hath swallowed up, bring out Kuwait, and the nations shall not flow together any more unto him. No more oil tankers will go to Iraq anymore. Also the wall of Iraq shall fall. Okay. I think that's about it. Oh, here's something. Though Babylon oil tankers will go to Iraq anymore. Also the wall of Iraq shall fall. Okay. I think that's about it. Oh, here's something. Though Babylon the date today is September 17th. 1988. And what you're about to read, or sit through if you want to sit through, is my TV journal where I'm recording this book called, it's called The Last Journal of Bruce Ramsey. I thought I was going to finish it up on the last videotape with the same name. It's called The Last Journal of Bruce Ramsey, Part 3 Conclusion. This one is, as you know, called The Last Journal of Bruce Ramsey, Part 4 Conclusion, on the tape, the complete Nixon and Ramsey, Part 2. Anyway, I'll tell you about myself. I'm a Christian who's been having a big bout with depression. As well, not really. I'm not really sad. I'm just well, I don't know what I am, but I have really been bored lately, bored out of my gourd, because, well, the reason why this thing is called The Last Journal of Bruce Ramsey is because I thought that the rapture was going to take place back in 1987, and so I thought, well, this is going to be the last journal of Bruce Ramsey because I won't be able to finish it, so it'll be my last journal. But the way things are going now, I don't think it is going to be my last journal after all. But then again, it might be because my life is so boring now, incredibly boring, that, well, I have really nothing to write about. But anyway, there's a video I'm erasing over right now, but you might want to sit through it because it kind of fits the feeling that I'm kind of going through right now, which is, it's called Look Back in Anger by David Bowie, but it seems to go well with watching rapture dates come and go, because I've seen lots and lots of rapture dates come and go, and I just missed there was one that just went by last Tuesday, and it was it was depressing, and I think the song that I'm erasing over, well, is appropriate to show you, and here it is. So long, I've been waiting so long, and I have been waiting so long for the rapture. I've been looked back in an anger, because I'm now 27, almost 28 years old, going nowhere with my life, getting bored, depressed, majoring in trying to get my credential to become a retard teacher, a learning handicap teacher. And I don't think I'm going to be happy trying to do that. Anyway, oh well. I don't know what else there's on right now. I'll get back to you and see what other video I'm taking over right now. Because I knew that the waiting so long was going to be on, but I'm going to see what this one's on. Let's see what this one's called. Yeah, I think I can tape over that one. That's not going to be important. Okay. Let's see if I can see what else to you. Well, okay, I told you I'm a Christian, and I'm waiting for Godot, which is waiting for the rapture. And I've been waiting. My hopes are on the rapture. I'm so crazy about trying to have the rapture. Wanting the rapture to take place that I'm having a difficult time trying to live in reality now, because reality has become very boring to me. So yeah, it has. There's nothing that I want to do. There's nothing that I'm interested in except wanting the rapture to take place. So, well, maybe I need psychological help. You be the judge after what I read to you.